Good morning. I am Sarah with the pronouns she, her, and I serve this church as your service leader and also as your treasurer. If you are visiting with us for the first time today, you are especially welcome. Our greeters at the welcome table by the door can help you get oriented if you have any questions. If you have little ones, we invite them to stay for our time for all ages and our service. Or our greeters can also show you the way to our nursery, which is available during the service for children ages 6 and younger. Our services are filmed and posted on YouTube. If you want to make sure that you are not on camera, please sit in the perfume-free zone over here, or in the section closest to the back table in the library. Feel free to move during the opening hymn if you need to. And thank you for silencing your cell phones. Today, we will be hearing from members of our CUUPS group, which stands for Covenant of Unitarian Universalist Pagans. We'll learn more about each of their different paths and how you may be able to get involved in their group. Our opening hymn is number 1068, which is in your small teal hymnal, and the hymn is called Rising Green. Please rise in spirit or body and join us in singing number 1068 in the teal hymnal.
My blood doth rise in the roots of yon oak. Her sap doth run in my veins. Boundless my soul like the open sky, where the stars forever have lain. Where the stars forever have lain. My hand holds the weavings of time without end. My sight as deep as the sea. Beating my heart sounds the measures of old that of love's eternity. That of love, that of love, that of love's eternity. I feel the tides as they answer the moon, rushing on a far distant land. Waking my song is the wind of my breast, and my love blows over the land. And my love, and my love, and my love blows over the land. My foot carries days of the oldest to new. Our dreaming shows us the way. Wondrous our faith settles deep in the earth, rising green to bring a new day. Rising green, rising green, rising green to bring a new day.
Good morning. I, who am the beauty of the green earth and the white moon among the stars, the mysteries of the waters, I call upon your soul to arise and come unto me. For I am the soul of nature that gives life to the universe. From me all things proceed, and unto me they must return. Let my worship be the heart that rejoices, for behold, all acts of love and pleasure are my rituals. Let there be beauty and strength, power and compassion, honor and humility, mirth and reverence within you. And you who seek to know me, know that your seeking and yearning will avail you not unless you know the mystery. For if that which you seek you find not within yourself, you will never find it without. For behold, I have been with you from the beginning, and I am that which is attained at the end of desire.
Welcome to Houston Valley Unitarian Universalist Church. I am Doug. I serve the church as the president of your local CUUPS chapter. If you are with us on the internet, or if you're with us sitting in the chairs around me, we are one community, united in one commitment to each other. And our commitment is to live out our principles in the world. Join me in lighting our chalice using our vision statement. The words are printed on your order of service. We work together as a church to transform ourselves, our community, and our world by sharing love, pursuing justice, and seeking wonder. I'd like to invite our young and young at heart to join us for our time of all ages here in the front. This is also when the children's offering will be collected. They are raising money to fight hunger.
Good morning. I'm Ellender, and I'll use any pronouns that you use. I'm fine with them. So, how many of you sometimes get scared in the dark? Is it worse when you're by yourself, if you feel alone? Yeah. Sometimes knowing that you're not alone can help you feel braver. And I found a story about how dancing in the moonlight is a gift of courage, and how when we might feel alone, we still have what we need. It's this book called The Dancing Goddess. Have you ever wondered why pagans are inspired to dance when the moon is full and the tides ascend? Close your eyes and travel back to a time when gods and goddesses walked the earth. The ritual began when the days were ripe and golden, and the nighttime was for dancing. See, they're all getting together. The goddess of night lived in the soft, fluid space between dawn and dusk. From this post, she could see all, know all, and care for all. The goddess embraced all people on earth. Their emotions sang to her, and she returned this gift with love and magic. The goddess was known by many names. To some, she was the creative spirit of nightfall. Inspired by the beauty and ambitions of each human life, the goddess orchestrated the evening breeze lullabies and painted sunset palette dreams for everyone. Some knew her as the arms of night's embrace. The goddess swaddled the earth in a midnight blue blanket embroidered with an endless starry sky. Her presence was peaceful and unifying. Still others knew her as the heart of new day promise. As tired eyes fluttered closed in nighttime darkness, the goddess guided slumbering souls like quiet moths toward daybreak. But to all, she was the dancer. When she danced, she filled the sky with magic. She brought movement to the night's stillness. She breathed bravery into the cautious darkness. For those with painful sadness, her dance was a gentle rocking, a comforting sway. They rested with her, and she honored their feelings and needs with patience and healing magic. For gleeful souls in celebration, her lively tempo pulsed with dazzling twists and tumbling. They reveled with her, and she enhanced their joy, uplifting their energy with her blessings. Each night became a celebration of her endless love. No matter where they were, people could find the dancing goddess at the end of every day. But the more she taught people courage and independence, the less they joined her in her midnight dance. Slowly, the dancing goddess faded back into velvet darkness, drifting gently with the rhythmic nighttime waves wherever oceans met land. Sensing her time on earth was ending, the goddess unstitched a thread from the hem of her dress and began tying it to the edge of the sea. She sewed over many nights, pulling tight on her ocean skirt, determined to weave an unbreakable bond with the earth and the people she loved. The waxing moon leaned in close, silver light glittering on her threadwork. On the final night, when the moon was full, the dancing goddess released the watery fabric and leaped toward the radiant moon, becoming one with its celestial presence. In her wake, a splashing train unfurled, rising and climbing across the sands. Moonglow intensified as the goddess focused her light. From her lunar view, she could still adore the people she loved. In twirling, patterned vigilance, the goddess danced the moon around the earth. Even now, her dance continues, as it will forevermore. We can see the ocean's edge ebb and flow with captivating satin waves where her graceful skirts are tied. When the moon is full, the dancing goddess beckons, and our energy sings to her as our bodies join in motion. Wherever we are, whatever we need and feel, we never dance alone. So, have you ever been so happy you just had to dance? Yeah, I have. How about you guys? Have you? Or no? Or you have no clue? It's fine to have no clue too. Maybe someday you'll find that. Or maybe you were so sad that you needed to rock back and forth. I see grown-ups do that. Can dancing or rocking express our joy or make us feel better? I kind of like to think so. And I hope you guys have some dancing with joy time this week.
Well, today I'd like to try to answer a question of what is neo-paganism. It's also called modern paganism or contemporary paganism. It is an umbrella term applied to religious movements that are modeled after pre-Christian faiths from Europe, North Africa, and Western Asia. Neo-paganism expresses numerous and diverse sets of beliefs and practices. There are many pagan traditions that have sprung up within this last century. There have been multiple attempts to define them. And that was pretty hard to find a cohesive definition that wouldn't exclude people. There is a set of defining traits, namely polytheism, animism, pantheism, and panentheism, but always environmentalism. Some traditions may practice magic, perform rituals, and observe holidays, while others do not. Some very general strains can include atheo-paganism, which upholds paganism ideology and culture, but rejects the belief in or worship of deities. Some hold that deities are nothing more than symbolic or metaphoric figures rather than actual beings. There are ethnicity-based paganism. These seek to rediscover and practice the historical religion of their specific culture. As such, they often reject eclectic practices. Eclectic paganism blends paganism with aspects of other religions or philosophies, including the blending of separate pagan traditions. Reconstructionalism relies on academic data to reconstruct their traditions, modeling their ideology and practice around that of pre-Christian times. Paganism connects many people in a wide range of beliefs and practices. At HVUUC, our CUUPS group offers a place for pagans of all walks to come and share space with us in a welcoming community.
Be like water, my friend. You shall find a way around or through it when nothing within us stays rigid. We decide the shape we're in. Empty your mind. Be shapeless, formless like water. It can flow, it can crash. And we design the waves we give. Ooh, we decide the shape we're in, the waves we give. We decide the shape we're in, the waves we give. Be like water, my friend. You shall find a way around or through it when nothing within us stays rigid. We decide the shape we're in. We decide the shape we're in, the waves we give. We decide the shape we're in, the waves we give. We decide the shape we're in, the waves we give. We decide the shape we're in. Be like water, my friends.
Good morning. I'm Ellender. My pronouns are any that you care to use. I'll answer to anything. And I have been a member of the Order of Bards, Ovates, and Druids for about 30 years. My current grade is Ovate. I first became aware of modern paganism through a reading from Spiral Dance by Starhawk. That was one of my assignments in Introduction to the Study of Religion in college. Inspired to learn more, I found her book Dreaming the Dark and began reading the stories of so many people who were expressing an authentic faith as part of their efforts at seeking social justice and protecting the environment. This resonated with me strongly and encouraged me to explore different pagan paths, which eventually led me to a friendship with Danny Potter, the only Obod Druid in the area at the time. Through my contact with Danny, I became active with OBOD. Because the organization presents itself as a philosophy more than a religion, I felt comfortable exploring all the possibilities open to me while continuing my practice, but I keep coming back to Druidry as the core of my faith. I simply connect with the idea that the world around me is alive and precious. OBOD is the place where I meet the sacred green. It is the recognition that the universe itself is a living entity, and we are all part of the whole. Ultimately, we all exist in a balanced symbiosis, and when we attend to serving the greater good and living within that balance, the universe can sustain and nurture life. Here is where I find the place that science and philosophy meet in such a way that it makes my soul sing. New research and new findings inspire me to think more deeply and contemplate more fully just how much a part of the universal organism I truly am. From chaos theory, which we mentioned last week, to Gaia hypothesis, and even beyond, I've been encouraged to question what I know about the world and constantly seek more knowledge, to comprehend the natural world and leave myself in awe of the beauty and the wonder around me, and constantly curious, wanting to know more. My practice leads me to spend time in nature, hiking in the woods, the fields, on the beaches, always looking for those moments of deeper connection with the sacred, looking for where I intersect with the threads of life around me. Examining science through a philosophical lens enables me to understand how I am becoming one with my surroundings and how that fits me into the greater universe. For example, I read a paper this year describing a study that found that when trees breathe, they release compounds that can cross from our lungs into our bodies. Some of these can help our bodies to heal, while others can help us to become more calm. Our own breathing provides the trees with chemicals that can help them to be more healthy as well. Walking in the woods, to paraphrase my favorite part of the service, when I breathe in compounds gifted by the trees to the atmosphere, and when I breathe out, some part of me becomes useful to the world around me. I become part of the woods during the walk, and then bring that oneness home with me. Just being in the woods changes us. At the same time, I can be of further use to the world around me by intentionally leaving it better than I found it. Picking up the trash becomes an act of faith. Observing the other creatures around me becomes reverence. Listening for the voice of the woods in the wind, in the trees, becomes worship. My practice has taught me an awareness of the passing of seasons in a whole new way and opened my eyes to even the tiniest things in the world around me. It has brought an awareness that while I may be the only human visible in my immediate location, I am by no means alone. Every tree, every flower, the chipmunk hiding in its den are my kin. We are all part of the greater whole. The celebrations through the course of the year follow the cycles of life that I can observe and participate in, teaching me to move with the ebb and the flow of the world around me through seasons of introspection and seasons of growth. Meditation practice enables me to quiet myself so that I can better observe my surroundings and seek the still small places within myself. I have learned to see details that I would never have noticed before and understand more of what the natural world is trying to communicate, even if only on a very small scale. And the restoration of the sense of wonder and curiosity that had been lost to my childhood now feeds my soul and my mind. A walk in the woods is only one of the many small ways we can become one with the sacred world surrounding us. Only one of the places where I can find that which is hallowed. And that search and the awareness it provides brings me peace.
Come to this community with all that you are. Your joys and your concerns are welcome here. We share our moments of joys and sorrows with us through using these candle cards. If you are with us in person or by emailing Reverend Tiffany at minister, it's minister at HVUUC.org with the words candle card in the subject line. Please make sure to indicate whether or not you would like the card read aloud in the service, which is broadcast publicly on YouTube. Today is Father's Day. It's a day of joy for many of us as we remember and celebrate our fathers. And it's a day of joy for some of us as we celebrate our own experiences as parents. But it's also a complex day that brings about sorrows over fathers lost or fathers who are never really up for the job. And it's also a day of complexity for those of us who have experienced loss as a parent. And it's also a strangely gendered holiday as our understandings of fatherhood, motherhood, and parenting continue to evolve. In a lot of ways, a holiday like this highlights the absolute complexity of the human experience. And so I say that if today is a day of celebration for you, that we celebrate with you. And if today is a day of grief for you, that we grieve with you. And if today is too complicated to name, then we will sit with you in the complexity. We do have one candle card, and it is an anonymous candle of joy, and is unspoken, and we light a candle for that. If you wish to light your own silent candle, approach the side of the table that is closest to you, and the closest candle keepers will assist you. Please light the candles at the back of the table first, so that no one has to reach over an open flame. If you wish for us to light a candle for you, please raise your hand until I acknowledge you, and I will ensure a candle is lit for your intention. Our community is so much larger than those of us who are in the building this morning. So we light a candle to hold space for those who are not physically present with us, but are ever in our hearts. And we light a final candle for all that remains unspoken in our hearts and minds.
Hello. My name is Dion or Nahani, depending on the nature of your interaction with me. I use the spiritual name Nahani when I walk my path, and in mundane world, I am known as Dion. I have been walking the path of the triple goddess knowingly since about 1989. I was raised in a farming community, and I was taught early on that the seasons and what we do with the earth will either work for us or against us, depending on what's happening. Like many people who find the path, it appears that I've been working this earth-centered version of paganism long before I knew that it had a name. The triple moon goddess path for me represents the phases and cycles of nature. These can be the cycles of a day, a month, or a year. You have the maiden, who represents the budding energy, new beginnings, the planting of the seed, if you will. She is full of energy, excitement, and curiosity. The mother represents energy spent nurturing, manifesting, and bringing your thoughts and actions to fruition. She is the patient one, the calm one, the one who comforts and protects. The crone represents the end of the cycle, the reaping of what you have sown at the end of your journey. She is the wise one, the keeper of records, and the bard who shares her wisdom. These three ladies are kept company by consorts of the Oak King and the Kali King. These represent the two phases of the masculine: the young, energetic hunter who provides and procreates, and the older wise man who tempers the impulses of youth. Spring is the time of the maiden, the season where the seeds are planted of what you would like to have to come through to fruition throughout the year. This is true of what we plant in our garden, what we have planted in our minds and thoughts, and what we have planted as we walk our walk. The mother is present all through the summer months and into fall. We water the seeds that we have planted. We fertilize the soil for the best results for the hard work done. The crone is that which we find at the end of fall and into winter. This is when we have harvested what we have tended throughout the year and have set aside to keep us through the stillness. We contemplate what we may have done differently, what we may want to keep the same in the next day, season, or year. She is responsible for creating the plan for the steps taken to start the cycle all over again. Without her consorts, she is without the ability to produce seeds for the planting. Some traditions are Dionic and choose to only recognize the goddesses. However, the path that I have chosen seeks to find the balance between the masculine and the feminine. We find that it is through the balance of the masculine and the feminine that we are able to keep the wheel turning.
she walks with me. She is the clouds up in the clear blue sky. She is the ground beneath my feet. She is the oceans and the falling rain. She is the spark that lights my way. You walk with the goddess, and the goddess, she walks with me. You walk with the goddess, and the goddess, she walks with me. She is the clouds up in the clear blue sky. She is the ground beneath my feet. She is the oceans and the falling rain. She is the spark that lights my way. We walk with the goddess, and the goddess, she walks with me. We walk with the goddess, and the goddess, she walks with me. She is the clouds up in the clear blue sky. She is the ground beneath my feet. She is the ocean and the falling rain. She is the spark that lights my way. We walk with the goddess, goddess, she walks with me. We walk with the goddess, goddess, walks with me. We walk with the goddess, goddess, she walks with me. We walk with the goddess, and the goddess, she walks with me. Goddess, she walks with me.
Hello. My name is Kayla. My pronouns are she and her. Today, I want to explore a path within our wonderfully diverse community, heathenry. Heathenry is a modern revival of the pre-Christian religious traditions of Northern, Anglo-Saxon, and Germanic Europe. The term heathen is of Germanic origin, originally meaning someone who resides in the countryside. This is much like the derivative of pagan, which originally meant country dweller or civilian in Latin. Eventually, both terms were used by Christians to refer to someone who does not follow the Abrahamic beliefs. It has historically had a bit of a negative connotation. Today, the term is garnering reclamation by the people who follow this particular path. I, myself, would say I am a happy heathen. Heathenry focuses on honoring the gods and goddesses of these cultures, like Odin, Frigg, Hretha, Freya, and Thor, though there are many, many more. However, heathenry is more than just worshiping deities. It's about cultivating a deep connection with nature. Heathens see the divine woven into the world around them. The wind carrying whispers of the gods, the changing seasons reflecting their stories. This connection inspires a sense of responsibility for the environment, encouraging us to be stewards of the earth. Now, some might wonder how this fits within our Unitarian Universalist values. Here's the beauty. Heathenry emphasizes individual journeys of faith. There's no central creed or dogma. This resonates with our commitment to respecting diverse spiritual paths. What might surprise you is the focus on reason and ethics. Heathens revere wisdom just as much as strength. There are core ethical principles like truth, honor, and hospitality that strongly align with our own UU values. Heathen practices might involve rituals, offerings to the gods, or celebrating seasonal festivals. But at their core, these are ways to connect and build meaningful relationships with the divine. While heathenry has its own distinct practices, it shares core values with many of us here.
a reverence for nature, a commitment to ethical living, and the freedom to explore our own spiritual paths. Within our diverse tapestry of beliefs, heathenry offers another thread, reminding us of the divine spark that runs through nature and the importance of living a life of wisdom and integrity. Thank you. Most dear is fire to the sons of men. Most sweet, the sight of the sun. Good is health if one can but keep it, and to live a life without shame.
Our closing hymn for this month is hymn "Oh, What a Piece of Work Are We," number 313 in the gray hymnal. And this is also when we pass the offering plate. The contributions that you make to us during this offering supports the ways that we build each other up within this community and also gives us the resources needed to stretch out into the wider world to make a positive impact. If you're making a pledge payment, please mark it as such. And thank you so much for your contributions. Please rise with us in body or spirit for our closing hymn, "Oh, What a Piece of Work Are We," number 113.
For today's benediction, we're using a common Wiccan parting. The circle is open, but never broken. Mary, do we meet? Mary, do we part? Mary, shall we meet again? Go in peace. The church.
We decide the shape we're in, the waves we get. We decide the shape we're in, the waves we get. Water, my friend. You shall find a way.